Well, good morning, my beautiful coffee crew. It is nice to see you. I am Bullhorn Betty. We're covering two separate cases this morning. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers was a 15-year-old boy at the time he disappeared. He's now 17 years old, turning 18 years old. He disappeared on February 25th, 2026, and has never been, 2024, and has never been seen again. 2.5 years later, still no answers. We're still looking. We are part of Sebastian's army. We have supported his dad, Seth, since the beginning of this case when nobody else would support this man that was working at the time his son disappeared. All because the family, the mom and the stepdad, were lying and bringing on felons to help fight their online battles. They're felons, their felon network. And one of those people that have been part of this clique of nastiness has now started breaking his silence. He knows all this information, has failed to and withheld it all from the public for 2 years, most likely. 2 years. Yet he's being applauded today. And I think I've got his card. Now, I am speaking about elevated truth. I don't want to throw him under the bus too much because I feel like he is finally, getting his blinders off. He does not like Bullhorn Betty, which I find very hypocritical because he's never spoken to me. He's never asked me any questions. He's never even attempted to reach out with me. He just owned the hate of everybody else. So that right there shows you the character, class, and integrity of that man. And again, just not trying to disrespect him, but still, there's a lot to be said about it, right? And then we move over to Pima County, where Arizona, and again, we're dealing with Chris Nanos. And again, everybody knows all these truths about these cases, but refuses to tell until it's convenient for them. Until it's convenient for them. Until it's profitable for them. The ones that scream clicks and views the loudest are the ones that sit here and withhold the information until they get the clicks and the views. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty channel. We're going to break it all down in today's show. Come on in, sit down, and relax.
Bullhorn Betty rocks.
Coffee steaming, files on the table. We clocking early, hunt what's unstable. Bullhorn Betty on the curb, voice raised. Flip-flop queen with the homemade phrase. Notebook thick, got the screenshots flag. Names in red ink, every rumor, every tag. Late night live stream, screen glow on her face. Truth in her throat, got a lawman's pace. She don't blink when the threats roll through. Come see me, she says, if you think that's cute. Bullhorn Betty in the coffee club. We hunt bad guys till the sun comes up. From the front porch steps to the courthouse rug. We fighting for the ones that they gave up. Bullhorn Betty in the coffee club. Sip that truth from a styrofoam cup. From the quiet streets to the madhouse buzz. We ain't letting go till we get that justice. Insane Asylum, that's our crew nickname. Laugh so loud while we track these names. Whiteboard wild with the webs we spin. Pen to pen, see the pattern sink in. Turmo shaking when the case goes cold. We stir it back up, won't do what we're told. Doorstep question, side eye stare. Where were you that night? We hanging right there. Bullhorn Betty in the coffee club. We hunt bad guys till the sun comes up. From the front porch steps to the courthouse rug. We fighting for the ones that they gave up. Bullhorn Betty in the coffee club. Sip that truth from a styrofoam cup. From the quiet streets to the madhouse buzz. We ain't letting go till we get that justice. This for the faces on the milk cart labels. This for the families praying at tables. This for the names that the news won't say. We say them out loud every single day. Every day. If you're running in the dark, better feel that fear. Betty got a bullhorn right in your ear. Coffee club crazy, but we think so clear. One small town, whole world gonna hear. Hey! Bullhorn Betty in the coffee club. We hunt bad guys till the sun comes up. From the front porch steps to the courthouse rug. We fighting for the ones that the day gave up. Bullhorn Betty in the coffee club. Sip that truth from a styrofoam cup. From the quiet streets to the madhouse buzz. We ain't letting go till we take red
Well, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. It is nice to see you. As you guys know, we have been talking about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers in conjunction with Nancy Guthrie case, and there is a reason for that. One is I feel like these cases are kind of similar in the respect of corruption in the community, lackadaisy investigation, terrible first 48 hours, not doing what they were supposed to do. In the case of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, they had a revolving door on the crime scene. On the crime scene. Everybody was just coming in and out of the crime scene, contaminating and everything, because we got bozos running sheriff's departments across this country. Bozos. Bozos. Not every sheriff's department is being ran by a bozo. We have good sheriffs around this country. I have great sheriffs here in the state of Florida. Many of you guys know them. Why? Because they go viral. Why? Because they don't take any shit. Okay? They don't take the shit. So we've got good law enforcement typically around Florida. There's a few places. Like, I'm not too keen with the Osceola, Orlando area. You guys got some work to do over there. Okay? Law enforcement over there has got a lot of corruption in it. The whole damn county's got a lot of corruption in it. So we have our own problems throughout the state of Florida, but for the most part, we're pretty good here, and our officers are seasoned. They're not dumbasses, okay? They're really not dumbasses. Thank you for our Florida law enforcement, by the way. I'm glad you're not Pima County or Sumner County. We actually have an opportunity to be found here in the state of Florida with our law enforcement. Like, when they go to the landfill, they'll stay there until they find what they're going to find. They're not going to get out there and say, oh my God, this smells terrible. Let's call it quits while we're searching for a life out there in the landfill. It takes guts. And we know Sumner County doesn't have guts. But we had some truth coming out, literally, elevated truth. Been on these airs. I don't know the guy. I don't know the guy. The guy doesn't like me. Again, you guys have seen me pander to his good senses and saying, I don't understand why you don't like me. You're taking somebody else's hate and hating me for somebody else because somebody else hates me. He doesn't know me, so how can he hate me? Right? That's a dumbass. If you hate somebody that you never even met before, you are a dumbass, okay? A dumbass. So we have elevated truth that's been harboring a lot of information and details and secrets for Chris and Katie. He has. Let's rip everything and let's say, because I'm one of these people who like the truth and I like saying it like it is. I don't really give a shit if I hurt people's feelings. Okay? I'm not here to cater to your feelings. Okay? There's no trophies over here. Okay? You don't get a participation trophy here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Okay? We don't have safe spaces or coloring books over here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Okay? We're not bred like that over here. So we like telling it like it is, and that means if we hurt feelings, go cry in a corner. I don't give a shit. Okay? Or toughen up. All right, Cupcake? Or toughen up. But at the end of the day, he's harbored information for the Proudfoots for years. Let's not mistake that. And that's something you're going to have to reconcile, Elevated. I'm not going to give you a free pass. You definitely didn't give me one. And I did nothing wrong except help an innocent man. And I got my life destroyed for helping an innocent man while you harbored somebody else's secret for his son. For his son. And while he may have gone on your panel and talked to you, which I'm glad he did. I'm glad he did. Because at the end of the day, it's about his son. It ain't about your fucking feelings. It ain't about the cletus, frickin' chlamydia, or Queen Bee. Let me just tell you, I find it awfully funny that everybody's losing their channel on the hate channel but Queen. And she's the dirtiest bitch of them all. You are going to find out that the people that you think are your friends are not. And they're smiling in your face while stabbing you in your back. We don't do that over here. You're not accepted over here. You will never be accepted over here because you sat with them. And we just don't play like that. If you can be that nasty and that dirty, then once the time comes, I mean, outside of Justin, we know Justin's been going over to Queen Bee's panel. We know Justin's been kind of hanging out with the enemy, so to speak. We've all seen it. He's a big boy. He knows that it bothers people to see him over there, but he doesn't care. And that's the hate channels. So now if you want to know why the hate channels are involved with the true crime genre, maybe if we weren't pimping our true crime genre out for clicks and views, over on a piece of shit's panel, maybe we wouldn't have people thinking that they can keep coming over to the true crime channel or the true crime side when they truly are hate channels and drama channels. So we know where the plug is coming, how we keep getting all confused. So I hope that that stops. But again, I don't control anybody. At the end of the day, we understand why there are some content creators refusing to throw anybody under the bus. Maybe they're just nice people. Maybe they just don't want to rock the boat. I'm sorry. These people are pieces of shit that destroyed this man. This man was fighting for his son while you had two pieces of shit hiding and lying. And he's been fighting for his son for 2.5 years while these scurvy-ass bitches behind the scenes have all this information. And I'm glad that Elevated Truth finally recorded things and finally acknowledged that he knew things were not right. But he didn't tell the world that. He kept proclaiming that Chris and Katie are innocent and kept standing on his platform along with Granny, Queen Bee, Chlamydia, and all these other people promoting and trying to get sideways because they're dirty people. They actually think shenanigans is going to find them. You know, I'm going to tell you, I've been on these streets for 5 years and not one felon on a hate channel that thinks they're going to rub elbows with a criminal ever got any information that put those criminals in jail. You know what they got? They got high, they got money, they got drugs, they got all kinds of shit. But the last thing that they did is actually solve a crime or bring somebody to justice. Yet their whole entire world is centered around getting close to the suspects in the crime, thinking that they're doing some sneaky shit. They're not. They're just promoting evil. That's all they're doing. So Elevated Truth has had all this information that he's harbored. Chris and Katie are the ones that told him. So Chris and Katie know the information. Elevated Truth and all these felons behind the scene, these criminal felons that don't mind doing criminal activity behind the scenes, know the information. But the father trying to find his son, the innocent father trying to find his son, goes up on a panel to find out what that truth is because Chris and Katie know it. All these hate channels know it. Elevated Truth knows it, so much so that he says he went through the FBI and gave it to him. So why can't Seth know the information? Why, if everybody else on that side of the planet knew the information, why couldn't he inform Seth the information? Why did he take the opportunity to interview Seth? Because I know his number. This is what Elevated Truth does. He gets some information. He thinks he can hold something over somebody's head when he's not getting enough attention or he feels like he's being beat up. He decides to throw a freaking fit and act like a child and go here and scream, oh my God, I'm going to tell all this, I'm going to tell all, until somebody comes up on his channel and he now has something to talk about. Now he's bringing people in by throwing this temper tantrum. It just worked for him. And it's got him very profitable because of this. And I went back and I watched the psychology of his channel. I have been monitoring, how he's behaving. And I've elevated on a psychological level what I feel is going on. And that is exactly what I feel is going on. It seems like this man has had some abandonment issues in his past. He's obviously been hurt as a child. He's got some, it looks like he's a high functioning autistic. He talks about autism. So it seems like he's a high functioning autistic person. But it seems like don't misunderstand me. I believe he is trying to help. It's just that when you're with a whole bunch of felons that don't mind conducting themselves criminally and you are handling yourself and hanging out with those people, you look terrible. And then when we find out that you have a whole bunch of information that you've been harboring and keeping secret from the true crime genre that's been searching for this young child for 2.5 years, it makes you look like a piece of shit. That's what it makes you look like in the public. If everybody agrees with that statement, there's going to be some people that disagree. One, you agree with that statement. Two, you disagree with that statement. I just felt it was self-serving. So 1 or 2s in the chat, I would just like to gauge you. And Truth, if you're watching, I think you should take some inventory here. I think you should take some ownership in your behavior and, quite frankly, in these secrets that you've harbored. And quite frankly, truthfully, if we're going to elevate the truth, I think you need to tell the father the truth. If everybody else is entitled to the truth, why isn't the father? Why isn't the innocent father? That's what I would like to know. And when I'm going to show you this, you guys are going to see, I'm going to walk you through the behavior, the psychological behavior of what he's exhibiting here. And what I'm finding out, at least under my estimation, now granted, I'm not a clinical psychologist or anything like that. I did take, psychology. I had to take a lot of psychology classes. So I have psychology and I have law. So those are the two areas, major and minor. Major, paralegal, minor, psychology or law, So when I look at elevated truth, I all the times, and if you guys have been watching me, you guys know I do not throw elevated truth too much under the bus. Now, when he does shit, I call it out, just like he calls it out. But he calls out shit that's not even unlawful while they're sitting there, smoking drugs and even pot. It's not lawful and legal in Tennessee. So even when they're smoking pot, they're breaking the law. So he's sitting there criticizing me for never breaking the law and doing things they just don't like protesting, which is the most American thing I think anybody can do in America, right? Protesting is everything that America is about. I mean, no other country can you do what we have here. Nobody else has a First Amendment to the Constitution like the United States. So I don't do anything criminal, yet they do, and they're criticizing me. So I'm done. Elevated truth, in part, I'm glad you're breaking your silence, but shame on you for keeping it silent. I guarantee if the shoe was on the other foot and it was me that harbored secrets, you guys would be just ripping me to shreds right now. Yet you guys always seem to be able to do stuff to other people that never happens to you when you do the same thing. I'm sick of the hypocrisy on this platform. Absolutely sick of the hypocrisy on this platform. So many people are probably wanting to know, what am I talking about? We're going to get into that. Oh, did I forget to change? I did forget to change that. Let me add this. We're going to get into it. I think it's wrong. I absolutely think it's wrong to withhold information from a innocent father that's trying to find his son. Period. What you're doing is wrong. What you have done is wrong. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is a case that I was arrested for unlawfully. This is the Proudfoots and the law enforcement body out there conspired to have me thrown in jail to silence my speech. And still to this day, he's trying to silence my speech. So we literally got like lawsuits like I've gone through, and this is just to show you that Queen Bee is lying, because we've already been through what now? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost 10 lawsuits. I think it's 10 or 11 lawsuits out in Tennessee that I've had to fight, or I was either the plaintiff or the defendant in 10 or 11 separate lawsuits. And my total bill has not ever even come close to $100,000, just to put that out there. And we never even got really into discovery in her case. Like she spent, like I said, conservatively $25,000, $30,000. So she pocketed a good $70,000. So in my estimation, if everything is accurate that I'm hearing, in my estimation, again, opinion, allegedly, and in my opinion, just to keep me in the good graces of the court system, because I plan on suing Queen Bee in the future, and I want to make sure that I'm absolved of any countersuit. And if it is, it's going to be malicious and meritless, and so I can get some attorney fees for it. So I'm going to keep myself in the good graces. But she knows I'm hunting for her. She knows I'm going to, as soon as she steps one toe over that line, I'm going to be pulling her back into a lawsuit. My goal is for these people to go to jail, right? They're creating I'm not talking about elevated truth. Elevated truth ain't doing the kind of shit that these other people are doing. But I'm talking about the clan of misfits that he's been hanging out with. I absolutely want to see them in jail. Okay, what they've done, I'm surprised somebody probably has lost their life because of what they've done. We just don't know about it. It's not public. Okay, what they do is very dangerous, and I will not put up with it. I will not. I have been working on this for 5 years. I'm going to continue to work on this for 10 years. You guys will know when I'm successful, when Queen Bee is sitting her ass in jail, because that's where that lady belongs. She's a felon, and it's my estimation. She's done some terrible things. I've looked at her jacket. She's chased people around with tire irons. She's punched ladies in checkout lines in front of her freaking kids. She's an abusive woman. Okay, that's what her history shows, an abusive woman. And again, if you guys would like to see it, I do have those records. I'm happy to hand them out. Nothing unlawful about it. It's true, accurate, and correct. So if you guys would like those documents, I have them. I have a full file of Queen Bee stuff. I took her to court, and I keep it chronologically in order and keep adding to it. So when I have to take her to court again, all my stuff is ready to go. because I am going to make sure she pays for what she is doing to people. She doesn't want to pay anymore. She can just stop and just start going on a regular channel and start talking and being a normal person and shut down that discord that causes a lot of pain for people. But I am still going to get her. There's going to be a time and a place she's going to have to deal with the consequences of her actions. And I'm going to be right there to make sure it happens. I will be right there to make sure it happens. So this is the case that has caused me a lot of grief. I am raising money for the stuff. We haven't really moved the needle too much over the last 24 hours, but in all fairness, we raised almost $1,000 in a week. So I'm very pleased with those results. So I'm not going to badger your bar. You know, I mean, I'm at y'all's mercy, right? So if you guys would like to help out, we do have a GoFundSend Pro, whatever thing going on right now to help with these attorney fees. Out of the $12,000 we only need about $5,000. So that's good. I mean, the majority of the expenses have been covered. I've covered about 60% of all of our legal expenses on this channel. And I've just needed a little bit of help from our audience, which our audience has always stepped up to the plate and done the right thing. And you know, we've been able to get the money needed for these court hearings. But I think this is the last of it, because once we're done with the appellate stuff, I'm done with the financial obligations. Now the financial obligations for the federal stuff fall on my attorney. I don't really have anything that's going to be out of pocket for me because the federal lawsuit's a contingency fee. So we just need to get over this hurdle for the appellate issues. And once we're through this, this is it. So if you guys can help out, that's wonderful. You guys can go through here, you know, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, or if you don't want to just throw money out, right? You want something in return. Sonia has stepped up to the plate. She's got these designs for shirts, and she's selling shirts, and there's a portion of all proceeds that are going to go to my legal fund. So if you guys can help in any way, shape, or form, this is a direct result of the Sebastian ROGERS case and the piece of shit parents, Chris and Katie Proudfoot, that like to lie under oath and do terrible things and are criminals. They're felons in my estimation, and I think they're abusive. I think they abused Sebastian. I think that there's evidence in the records to show child abuse from that home, and these are the same people like Elevated Truth, Chlamydia, and Queen Bee that have supported these people that have been accused of abusing a child. And then we hear things like in Queen Bee's world where her youngest daughter had bruises of fingerprints around her neck. And according to everything that we heard, Queen Bee and her youngest daughter were the only ones at the house. Yet whenever the bruises came up on her daughter's neck, she blamed it on her eldest daughter. So that's the story, what she told the public, not me. I'm not telling the public anything that Queen Bee hasn't said. She blamed a felony on her own child, her eldest child, of strangling her youngest child, trying to kill her youngest child. And she dismissed it as nothing. As her boyfriend is leaving her and trying to take custody of the kids. So we got a lot of problems in these families and these people and these felons on these platforms that sit here and try to help out these criminal parents. That's what they're doing. This clique of people do nothing but cater to criminal parents that are accused or persons of interest in crimes against their children. I just want to put that out. And that's the team that Elevated Truth has been on. And he's going to sit over here and criticize people like me. It falls on deaf ears. I know I'm on the right side of this. I've been on the right side of this argument this whole time. I've been sitting with Seth, which I know 100% is innocent. Has nothing to do with the disappearance of his son. They can't say the same thing about Chris and Katie. Otherwise, what does Elevated Truth have? Have you ever seen me go up and say, oh my God, have you heard all this? I've recorded every conversation I've had with Seth. And do you know what he said? Let me tell you what Seth said. You will never, ever, ever hear me do that. Why? Because I do the parents. As far as their investigation, who I think's doing stuff, I investigate the shit out of them. I would never. That's why I never warmed up to Don or Candace Bly, right? Don Wells and Candace Bly. Never warmed up to them at all. Why? Because I could never tell that they were not innocent, right? They looked guilty as all get out. They acted guilty as all get out. I will never help a parent that I think could hurt a child. And I did my investigation on Seth. I tried to find where he was guilty, so much so that I reached out to his boss. And his boss sent me a statement saying he was at work from this time to this time. We put it up on our post. I got a direct response from his Davison County Jail. I got a direct response from Davison County Jail telling me Seth was there the entire time. And I'm going to believe them over any freaking felon or Chris and Katie or any other yahoo on this platform, because I know who I just spoke to. And I know what that person just told me when it comes to Seth Rogers. So while you're having to flip sides, Elevated Truth, and you're wanting to dog me, guess what, sir? I've been on the right side of this argument since the beginning. You're the one having to catch up. You're the one having to turn over information to the feds about the people you supported. You don't see that coming from this side. You don't see any of that dirty shit that you're dealing with right now coming from this side or being affected by Seth. That's all you guys. You guys have created all of this. All of this. All of this. And now you want to look like a hero? You owe Seth an apology, bro. You know that? You owe him a fucking apology while you're bullshitting. That man's been through hell because of what you guys put him through. Hell. Unnecessarily. Let me get some juju back. I'm angry. And to find out how much shit you've withheld, it's the truth. You should be pissed off at your fucking self, sir! How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? I'm angry. You gotta understand, I am friends with Seth. Like Seth is my friend. I didn't know this man before his son disappeared. But over our time working together to bring his son home, Seth and I have become friends. I care about that man. He is not just another story to me. I care about Seth. I care about what he went through. I care about his mental health. I care about what he still has to go through. I have to watch him struggle with what these assholes did to him for 2 fucking years. And before anybody says, oh, she's just jealous for going on Elevated Truth's panel, I am not. Because Seth called me and asked me. And I said, anything to get your son's name out there, do it. And who knows? He might give you something that might be helpful to find your son. That's what I told him. So before you guys start running your freaking mouths about bullshit, I'm on Team Sebastian. I'm part of Sebastian's army. And we're part of anything that's going to bring him home or get some information to find him, we're all about. And that means even sending Seth into the lion's den. I don't see Chris and Katie ever coming over to our side and talking to us, but Seth certainly has no problem going over to the lion's den and speaking to those pieces of shit. And yeah, Elevated Truth, until you apologize to Seth for what you put him through, you're going to be part of that piece of shit crew that I'm talking about. Because it takes a real man to own that they're wrong and that they've been wrong. And it takes a real man to say, I was wrong and I'm sorry. And until you're able to swing your penis like that, you're still a little girl. And you can say, oh, fuck daddy. Okay. I'm right here. Okay? You got something to say? Please say it to me. I'm pretty sure that you can reach out to Queen. She could give you all my details, my email, my phone number, hell, even my address, because she sent a few people over here. So I'm pretty sure if you really want to get a hold of me, you know how to get a hold of me. But I would like to talk to you. I would like to talk to you off the record. That means nothing we say can be recorded. I live in Florida, and I will get you for a felony. But if you want to talk to me and just talk, I'm open. I'm open. But I will never, ever speak one word to you until you apologize to Seth. Because you were part of what he had to go through, the additional crap. Now, I just want to put this in perspective for you, Truth. I don't know if you have kids. I think you do. I think you said you have wife and kids. I think that's what I heard you say. I could be wrong. I may misunderstood you, but I could have sworn you said you had wife and kids. Okay? Plural. Now, I just want to put this in perspective. If your kid went missing because of your wife or your ex-wife, you weren't there. And then you have a bunch of people you had never met piling on to you when you're trying to do nothing but find your son. Because some dumb bitch did something to your kid. And then they have people like you thinking you have a right to interject yourself into this and scream at you when all you're trying to do is find your fucking son. I just want to put it in perspective for you. And the reason why I'm cussing, because it seems like that's the only thing you get. I listen to your foul mouth live. Just filled and littered. I don't even know how you guys get past ad revenue with all that filth. Because I feel bad when I sit here and I have to apologize every time I say a bad word on my channel. I feel bad for using cuss words, but sometimes I get so angry it just falls out. So, I don't know. I don't know, Elevated Truth. I have a lot of harbored feelings for you. I do. This is Elevated Truth. You guys don't know who he is. There he is. He's the one that's been playing, trying to white knight it. And I'm going to say it just like that. I'm going to be disrespectful, Elevated. I think I've earned it. You've been hell of a disrespectful to me. Hell of a disrespectful to me. And I've never even spoken to you or spoken about you. Very limitedly. So, I don't even think I've ever even brought a very rare. How often do I even bring up this Yahoo's name? I don't even hardly bring up his. Yeah, I'm going to call you Yahoo. I don't give a shit. Get over it. Get over it. I'm sure you probably said a lot worse about me. Don't even know me. Don't even know me. So he's been playing good cop, bad cop, just sitting out there trying to get as much information, thinking he's helping the situation. He just wants to put himself in the thing and look like a hero at the end of it. Why? Because he's got some psychological complex that makes him feel that that's the way he's important on these platforms. And if he doesn't get the attention he needs, he starts throwing up things and telling people, oh, try me, try me, try me. Like ghetto, right? Ghetto. So this is the kind of stuff that I'm saying. This doesn't belong on true crime. This is drama. What you're about to hear is a drama channel, okay? This dude is in drama, okay? So this is not true crime, and I want to tell you it's not true crime. Why Justin is going over here and rubbing elbows with these pieces of shit, I don't fucking know. I don't know, but Justin is, okay? I've been hearing it for months. Been on Queen Bee's panel, the sidebar, all this other stuff, rubbing elbows with these terrible people that do terrible things in these cases that have done nothing but support and help criminals and people that hurt animal or hurt probably do hurt, but we know Don Wells hurt animals but hurt children. And so these felons Justin is now hanging out with and calling friends and doesn't want anybody on his channel saying anything bad about him. Okay, well then I'll say something bad about him on my channel. I love you, Justin. I just want to tell you that before you start thinking I'm mad at you. I'm not mad at you. And if I was mad at you, I'd probably scream at you and cuss you for a thing. But yesterday when I was in your chat and you were so concerned about somebody saying something after me seeing you on the sidebar, that I'm starting to say, whose pocket is he in now? Okay, Justin, people are going to start asking. So I'm just going to throw it out there. I don't really like it, but I'd have no control over what you do, right? I only have control over what I do, but I would never, ever, ever go into the lion's den or try to rub elbows with pieces of shit that you know would if they could, take your channel from you. How do you know that? Look at what they've done to everybody else, including your old friend MGL. But go over there and rub elbows with them. You can take my wrench away. I really don't care to be, after finding out that last night, I'm kind of upset with it. So you can go ahead and take my wrench. That's how upset I am about it, Justin. I felt that I felt betrayed. I think everybody in the true crime genre, after seeing you on Queen Bee's channel, felt betrayed. Anybody that's been following this case, especially, felt betrayed. Felt betrayed by our buddy. I can tell you I certainly did. I know I don't have any pull with him. He doesn't really give a shit. He's never helped me one day in my life. But, to each your own. Just take I won't be back to your channel, Justin, at least for a while. So enjoy your new friends. Queen Bee, maybe you should give her a wrench in your channel. That should probably be good. But you can take you can take my wrench now. These people have hurt Seth so bad, and you're scared to hurt their feelings. Yeah, no, that ain't gonna work with me. That's not gonna work with me. So let's listen to what Elevated Truth has. This is 30 minutes of the multi-hour rant that he did all day yesterday trying to get attention.
Can you tell me why all of a sudden you hear the hydraulics shift down? Can you tell me what the loud thud was?
Okay, where is all of this? We knew that there's a thud in the house, so he's basically implying that the middle of the night thud was basically Sebastian going into a garbage can. That's what he's implying here. Okay, let's cut the bullshit. Let's put it. I'm not here to pander. Okay, let's talk about what he's trying to say here. Basically, what Elevated Truth is implying here is that the thud that was heard at 11 o'clock was basically Katie taking her son out of the house and throwing him into the garbage can. That is what Truth is implying here, okay? He's basically implying the garbage can. Now, mind you, this is going to be a problem if true. First of all, I've never heard of this bogging down noise. We've been doing this case. I went out there. I don't know where this guy lives. I don't know if he lives in Tennessee. He's saying he's been out there searching and nobody's seen him because they don't put it up. Likely excuse. If you're a content creator and you need this much attention, you're going to take some film of you being out there in the woods. I've never seen any. I mean, even if it's just pulling up and saying, we're just pulling up, we're just getting started, and then coming out and saying we had we did 2 miles and we didn't find anything. Sorry, couldn't take you for a ride, but we were out here. We were here. It's 10 o'clock in the morning and we're leaving. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. None of that happened. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. If we don't have video of it, you can talk about it all day long, but I don't believe it. Even when I don't show what I'm doing, I have body camera. When I'm out there on my own, I wear body camera footage all day long. It runs. It never gets on my channel. Why? Because it's only for my safety. I have cameras and I have recording devices literally taped all over my body in case something happens to me when I'm out there. They may find some of the recording devices, but they will never find all of them. Period. Even if they strip me, they'll never find all of my recordings. So at the end of the day, we have issues with this whole thing of everybody searching. I don't believe it. And he keeps trying to put Cletus and Fat Ass on this pedestal of them being these people did disgusting things. They've been promoting and pandering to the Proudfoots, knowing that and he's trying to imply that they knew that Chris and Katie were responsible. So they've been sitting here for 2.5 years, rubbing elbows with Chris and Katie, knowing that they actually not knowing that they took them somewhere. Like, he's talking about them murdering. Every time you talk to this man, listen to what he's saying. He is absolutely convinced Sebastian has been murdered by Katie. So he's harbored this information for 2.5 years. He sat on it for 2.5 years. This man thinks Katie murdered her son. Okay? He thinks that everything you hear is murder. Even when Seth went up on his panel the first time, what did he say? I'm sorry, you're, something about death, your son being dead. And he's like, oh, Seth's like, what? And he's like, I'm sorry, missing. This man knows for a fact, and I can tell you this, and I hope Seth is not watching. He probably is watching, but I can tell you for a fact, this man right here knows the way he's acting. He knows Sebastian has been murdered by his mom. At least that's what he knows it so much in his mind that's all that he functions on. Oh, thank you, Melanie. Thank you. Gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. I think I got some other stuff too. I've been talking so much. So let me just take a break and say hi to everybody. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. It's been a while, 2 years. Yes, it has. I appreciate your passion and truth, and gifted Bullhorn Betty membership. So Michelle and Melanie, it's because I'm a love machine. Ow! And for the 2 people that became the newest members of this coffee club, welcome to this crazy family we call the coffee club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straitjacket in your padded room and welcome aboard. And my friend, the reason why he does not have a photo of his son behind him is I don't know if you noticed how dark his recordings are. It doesn't work well. But before you get all the facts, you're very, very quick to criticize. Let me tell you, I was the first person that went over and spent 2 hours with that man to help him set up his live so he would never have to be reliant on any other YouTuber, including me. And that's exactly what I told him when I helped him set that up, you piece of shit. So before you start running your gator about things you think you know, I would suggest you start doing this thing that you don't seem to do very often. Get the fucking facts before you open your mouth, you idiot. If you don't want me to be nasty to you, quit being a dumbass and quit being disrespectful to me. Damn. This is so fucking annoying. And this is all the shit you and your fucking friends stirred up for no reason against this man. No fucking reason. So let's listen to all the shit this man knew that he's been holding away from the public, away from the true crime community that's been searching for this boy for 2.5 years. Let's listen to how much information this asshole has kept from the world. Criticize me again. I double dog dare you. At least I never did this kind of shit, you piece of shit.
We heard hit the inside of the trash can. Or can you tell me why when they hit the compactor button?
How would he know this?
Can you tell me why all of a sudden you...
How does he know this when we don't know this? Who told him this? I doubt Chris and Katie told him that the garbage can bogged down. And I've reached out to the garbage can guy, and the guy only told me where they dumped the garbage from that area. He never really went into details about the machine or the dump truck. So how does he have this information unless somebody made the information up and are sitting here and selling it? Because I'm telling you, I'm 3 feet into this, and I've never heard about the bogging down of the thing. What I heard from everybody is that it was that the garbage can seemed to be heavier than normal. That's all we got. That's all the public has ever gotten. And if he has anything to the contrary, where's the receipts? Because at this point, it is all about the receipts, Elevated. Because you've been harboring a lot of stuff and you've been hiding a lot of information. And quite frankly, you've been doing it very well, sitting up on your platform, acting like you care about Sebastian while you hold all this stuff in. This sure would have been good for the true crime community a year ago, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, don't you think? Don't you think? So who do you have to blame for slowing this investigation down? Are you blaming yourself, sir? Oh, are you still blaming Bullhorn Betty for all your problems? Got it. Got it. Okay. To each their own.
You hear the hydraulics shift down. Can you tell me what the loud thud was that we heard hit the inside of the trash can?
Where'd you hear this?
Or can you tell me why when they hit the compact...
Where's this video? So you're telling me that people on true crime knew that Chris and Katie's story was falling apart and you guys willfully hid the evidence from the public? Is that what I'm hearing, Truth? That you and your compadres withheld all of this factual, detailed information from the public? Do you know what obstruction of justice is, Elevated? Does any of you guys know what obstruction of justice is? I can tell you it's something I don't play with. I'm an independent journalist. I'm a professional protester. I go all over this country, but one thing I don't do is I don't obstruct justice. Do you know what the elements of obstruction of justice is? It's Elevated Truth. I would suggest you maybe look into the law, because I think that you might want to consider, I would say that this is borderline obstruction of justice here. Criminal conduct. Allegedly, and in my opinion, I would definitely look into it, because I think you might find out while you've been withholding this information from the public, you might have been breaking the law.
Actor button. Not only did it go down 1 compression, not only did it gear down 2 compressions, but it squealed.
Really? Squealed? None of the neighbors heard the squealing first thing in the morning. Everybody would have been up about this time. Nobody heard the squealing. Nobody discussed the squealing. I talked to several neighbors of the area. Nobody heard no squealing from the garbage truck. Where did the squealing come from, and who heard this? Because I've been dealing with the garbage company itself. I haven't heard any audio. Where did this audio come from, Truth? Where did this audio come from? Thank you, Lou. Huh, Truth? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Where did the audio come from? Interesting. It's funny that nobody has an audio of this garbage truck. I can tell you that Seth has been working with PIs. We've had law enforcement people help. We've had attorneys involved. We've had a lot more than these a-holes even know about. And I find it awfully funny that none of us have heard this audio recording of this garbage truck. It squealed, allegedly. Out of all the neighbors we've talked about, you would think that if it bogged down like that and squealed like that and they never heard it squealing before, then that would have been something that they would have probably told us, no? I mean, we've got a lot of hands in that community. We have eyeballs on everything, even including the fact that Chris and Katie's house is not being kept up. How would we know that? I'm in Florida. I'm definitely not driving around. You know why? Because there's eyes and ears everywhere. And we got multiple content creators that are working with neighbors in that community. And we all kind of piddle information out.
It was so hard to push down. And Katie Proudfoot, when I asked you on the phone, what did you throw away that was so heavy? And your answer to me was, I don't know, I don't remember. But I'm sure it was just a slip of the mind.
This actually brings me to a great and valid point. According to, now granted, nobody has seen this recording of the garbage cans going out to the road. But I can tell you, it didn't appear that Sebastian struggled with the garbage cans. So if for any reason they see the garbage cans being diligently rolled out around 7 or 8 o'clock at night to the end of the road, like they said, it was Sebastian's chore, right? Sebastian's chore. And if they could see it, even if it's hazy, and they didn't see him having a problem moving that garbage can to the road, but then all of a sudden, whether or not we hear the bogging down, I'm not getting into all of this noise and stuff like that. I think this is rumor. I have diligently looked for anything related to this. I don't see how these ladies would have it, but they are dirty, they're scurvy, and they're criminals. So they would do whatever it takes to get whatever they need, even sucking and fucking somebody to get something. That's how dirty they are. And I'm not holding back on this live. This is why I don't really cover Sebastian Rogers too much, because it unnerves me. It pisses me off. And these people are disgusting and deplorable to me, you know? And now they want to sit here like Truth yesterday. He got an opportunity to ask Seth some questions, but he should have given Seth some answers, and he didn't. He didn't. But that goes to your character in class, sir. Okay? So you can sit here and talk all the madcast shit you want about Bullhorn Betty, but I would never do that, sir. I would never do that. I would never do that to a human being. If I have information about somebody's kid, I'm going to give it to them. I'm not going to withhold it. I'm not going to wait until the right time to present it. I'm not going to sit here and try to do it for some clicks and the views. I'm not going to be bouncing around from Kick to YouTube and all this other stuff, blasting it. If it's truly factual information that I've turned over to law enforcement, I probably would never talk about it again. Because you know why? I have truly turned over a lot of information to law enforcement, and guess what? I never once came back here and talked about it again. And it was used in a case. I can tell you that. I can tell you that. It was used in a case. My information was useful. But you never ever heard me come and run the story on my channel. Ever. So at the end of the day, one thing I don't do is I'm not going to be dirty. I'm not going to be scurvy. I'm not going to go and rub elbows with people that abuse children just to make myself feel like, ooh, if I can get close to them, maybe I can find some information to give law enforcement. No, you're just as dirty as the people you hang out with. And what did you accomplish? You accomplished zero. Because if you accomplished something, you would not be here acting this way if you actually accomplished something. And you know I'm right. And you know I'm right. So let's keep listening to the shenanigans, all this information that this man has kept away from the police until it was convenient for him to turn it over. So he's kept this away from the police. And I guarantee the reason why he decided to turn this over is probably he realized that maybe he was borderlining on obstruction of justice. Maybe that's exactly why he decided to turn this over and go to law enforcement, is because he realized that he could be brought into this on charges. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know. Allegedly, and in my opinion, I don't know. I don't know what's going through this man's head. I can tell you he doesn't think like me. That's the only thing I tell you. He doesn't act like me. He doesn't think like me. But I can tell you where I've stood. I haven't had to switch sides. I've been on the right side of this the whole time. So why he wants to sit here and be disrespectful to me, well, you know what? I got it right, sir. You're the one having to now flip sides. You're the one that's now having to turn your back on the people that you've been helping cover up information about this boy. And you're the one that's going to have to sit here and answer. So while you're sitting here and trying to spin this, let me not get it. Let me untwist it for everybody. You withheld information detrimental in a missing boy's case, and you kept it under cover until it was convenient for you. And you think you're going to white knight this, and you think you're going to be okay? As far as I'm concerned, you're no different than Chris and Katie. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? This is Seth's son. And you knew months, if not years ago, something wasn't right, and you withheld it. And you want to come out here and act like you're fucking white knighting it? I wish you would. Oh, I wish you would. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you?
But remember, elevated truth.
Fuck elevated truth.
Is an unhinged.
You have no idea what unhinged
unstable,
is, bitch.
Violent man.
I'm not violent. But I'll take your damn balls. Believe that.
You got to ask yourself.
Believe that.
When I started talking about a truck, why did Chris Proudfoot come up so angry? Out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You withheld that until it was convenient as well, didn't you? Geez, truth, I wonder how much more information you're going to hold until it's convenient for you to finally let out. Huh? Look at it. Look at you. You have something to say about Bullhorn Betty? When have I done any shit like that, sir? I'm asking you, elevated truth. Why don't you bring your ass up here in my chat and answer some questions for me? I've got some questions for you. I don't have questions for Chris and Katie. I got questions for you, sir. I got questions for you. How dare you? How dare you withhold this from a man that's been searching for his son for 2 years while you watch these bitches sit on their ass and do squat? Sebastian fucking mattered. We've been out there for freaking years looking for this boy, and you've been sitting on information for 2 years. 2 years. I got something to say to you, elevated. 2 years. And you want to sit here and you are not going to white knight it over my dead body. And baby, it better be dead. Over my dead body. Over my dead body. Are you going to be white knighting it? Over my dead body. I didn't have to switch sides. I knew it. Why? Because I had fucking brain cells. That's how I knew Seth was innocent. He was at work, on record. All you had to do was reach out to his boss. Problem solved, asshole.
Why did Chris Proudfoot try to call Queen Bee?
Oh.
The day everything was being exposed 2 weeks ago.
Oh, everything being exposed 2 weeks ago, huh? Called Queen Bee, huh? Imagine that. That's a civil action that I never brought against her. I wonder how much she was paid by Chris Proudfoot. I'll find out. I'm suing him. I'll find out. I will find out. I'm getting those records. Bet your ass on that. I'm getting those records.
Go. He didn't call me. I was the one talking about it.
Really?
Now, let me say, I'm not saying.
So you've known this for 2 years. You've been working with Chris and Katie for 2 years. His wife tried to fuck you. They've already explained how they have an open marriage. So they're just going out there. And the whole thing about them being swingers, I guess, is true. According to Truth. Very immoral family. So obviously Chris and Katie, they're not faithful to one another. So is the neighbor Chris around the corner screwing Katie? I guess all of these questions are back on the table, right? I guess all of these questions are now back on the table. Who are Chris and Katie Proudfoot? You know, they come out, they like being on here, and Katie was, crying yesterday? Why? Because she's now a whore? Not only is she a child abuser, she's now a whore that likes to sleep, that likes to suck and fuck neighbors and everybody else while her husband's away at work while he's sucking and fucking God knows who. So now we have Chris and Katie, whore, maybe Sebastian. And it makes you wonder, was Katie sexually abusing Sebastian? And I know it's going to piss off Seth, but you know what? Somebody needs to ask the question. Because, you know, sometimes the people that are abused become the abuser. And we have a missing child here. And we have a child that's been abused in that home, physically. How physically was this child abused? I'm sorry, I probably went too far. And I know Seth is probably going to be very pissed off at me for even saying that. And I wasn't trying to be disrespectful on that front. But we do need to ask the question because nobody's asking it. Katie was abused as a child, okay? She was abused really bad as a 5-year-old child. How do we know that stuff did not transfer over? I mean, his son was abused in California. How do we know the details of it? He only knows what he was told. I'm getting off that. I don't even want to talk about it. That was one step too far for me. I'm sorry, guys. I probably shouldn't have even said that, but I do, there are pieces of me that does wonder, and I think that's why it popped out of my mouth, is there are pieces of me that does wonder. Yes, I think Katie's a pedophile. There, I said it. Thank you. That's basically what I'm trying, it makes me wonder, because now that we're finding out all these sexual proclivities about them, how do we know that she didn't treat her son like she was treated at his age? I mean, I don't know. That's just a weird life. It's a taboo lifestyle I don't understand. He was showing signs of it. Well, the using of the bathroom. I mean, he didn't use the bathroom on himself when he was with his dad. He only used the bathroom on himself allegedly when he was with Katie and Chris. So I don't want to have this conversation. I want to get off this. I shouldn't even have went down that rabbit hole. It kind of pops out of my mouth, but I'm angry. I'm very, 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 very angry. But what makes me even more angry is this person is trying to act like a freaking savior right now when he's the monster. I'm sorry, Elevated Truth. You're the monster in this story. You knew this, and you withheld this from a father. An innocent father that has literally lost sleep, that has wanted to die. And you're withholding this information from him about his son. And you're trying to white knight it. Bitch, I'm not letting you be a white knight. Screw you. You owe this man a freaking apology. You guys tell your story the way you want it. I'm telling this story the way the hell I want it. I'm angry. I'm beyond angry.
And that as though Queen Bee was into some shit. No. Because see, what he did is he would make a habit out of making you feel like you were the only one he was talking to.
Because he's a
And he thought
manipulator.
somehow we were stupid enough not to talk to each other.
But so you guys have been talking to each other. Oh my god. Oh my god. So you're trying to act like a hard ass here, like you're gonna hold something over Chris Proudfoot's head. You dirty motherfucker. Quit holding shit over people's head and just say it. It's really hard after seeing a man on the screen saying such things. He needs to be arrested, in my opinion. You damn right he does. How dare him keep all this shit from Seth or the cops? Now it's convenient for him to turn it all over. So now he turned it all over. But the 2.5 years he's been collecting it, well, he was just been doing a ride along, right? He's just been doing a ride along, just keeping his head down and doing the ride along. Bullshit. You were right there in the mix of all of this, trying to cover up crap for this family. And you weren't getting what you wanted out of the deal, so now you're breaking your silence. That's the integrity of this man right here. You're not getting a free pass on this show. Elevated. You know damn well I'm right on. I'm spot on. I'm right on. You know damn well you're wrong. You owe this man an apology.
Is Queen your handler? Yeah, she is.
Oh, she's going to be here.
Which
She's
is
going to be
different
brought
than
into
your
this
dad,
court.
who was probably
You're going to be brought into a
peddler.
court hearing. I'll
Have a
tell you
good
what.
day.
You are a witness. You are a witness. You are a witness, Queen. I hope you're ready to start paying some money to come to Tennessee, because that's where your ass is going to be. I will promise you that. You wanted to play around? You wanted to play stupid games? Bitch, you going to get some stupid prizes. Oh, yes, you are. Oh, yes, you are.
I said peddler, not diddler. Don't come for me.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that for him.
Feel special? You want me to start combing my hair too? Will that make you feel a little better? Oh, here we
Don't
go.
push this.
Oh, don't push this. Don't make me bring out
Y'all
my
made
bitch
this
card.
happen.
Don't make me get my
You
bitch
haters.
card. Don't make me get my bitch card.
You think you know everything, motherfuckers?
Oh, no, we know we
Johnson.
don't. We know you scurvy
Nonsense.
bitches. We know you fucking cockroaches
J for
have
J.
all the information. Why aren't you giving this information to Seth? Elevated, why aren't you giving this information to Seth? He came up on your panel yesterday wanting to hear your story, wanting to hear this. Why didn't you tell him? Why aren't you telling him the truth? Elevated, truth? Why? 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 You think you're going to be a hero in this story? Bitch, please. You're the fucking devil.
And by the way, Jay, why don't you tell people what you really know?
Ooh, Gaping Lake.
Why don't you tell people about
Gaping Lake, another one. We need it. You know what, Seth? If you are watching, I would be going up and filing reports of obstruction against all of these people. These people have obstructed justice. They've went a step too far. I bet you anything under the Tennessee laws, we have ourselves right here obstruction. I think we have criminal elements here for obstruction, allegedly, and in my opinion, I am not a legal scholar and I'm not law enforcement that can put cuffs on this, but allegedly, and in my opinion, I think that this constitutes obstruction. I think it should be elevated and evaluated. Seth, I'm telling you, you need to call your attorney, sir. I would definitely call your attorney. I would definitely call your attorney, that's for sure.
your real relationship with Chris Proudfoot. Or
Yeah,
you can
it
make
is.
somebody else tell
You
that
damn
story.
right, Rodney. It sure is. How dare him?
Hey, Chris, that courthouse ain't very far from your house. Go file defamation charges.
Oh.
I'll be there.
Oh.
With
Oh. Well, I would like to file obstruction charges, sir. I don't want a civil suit against you. I want to see you in jail for what you did. That's what I want to see. You owe Seth an apology. You owe Seth the biggest freaking apology. And before you start coming after Bullhorn Betty, I want to remind you again, sir, I've never once flip-flopped on this case like you're doing. Not once. I have been on the right side of this case from the beginning. So what you got for me now, sir? What you got for me now? I am so angry over this revelation. For me to even... I'm glad Seth had an opportunity to present his side of the story to these animals. But I gotta tell you, shame on all of these animals for protecting the monsters. You protected the monsters. You protected the monsters, and I know you protected the monsters because we've been up here screaming that these people are monsters, and you guys came after us and tried to destroy us for the truth. We were telling the truth, and you guys tried to destroy anybody that was telling the truth, and now all of a sudden, you guys are joining our voices 2.5 years later and want a fucking applaud? Here's your fucking applaud. There. Are you fucking happy? Are you fucking happy? Are you happy? There's your applaud. There's your pat on the back. For taking a case for 2 years. 2 years. While Seth has struggled. 2 years. And then you want to sit there and the minute he comes up on there, you want to criticize me, you want to criticize him, you want to act like a hard ass? When you've obstructed justice for 2.5 years, allegedly and in my opinion? Bitch, please! You will not be the white knight in this story. I don't know what you think you're going to get out of this, but you ain't getting what you want to get out of this. What you need to do is tell Seth everything you know. I find it awfully difficult to palate that Chris and Katie are allowed to know. All you fucking felons are allowed to know. But the father that's been actually searching for his son for 2 years, not hiding, not lying, not conniving. None of that. That father doesn't get to know. You get to hold all the pieces. Fuck you. Fuck you and that white horse you rode in on. Tell Seth the truth. Tell him what you know. You asshole.
With your recordings. And don't think for a second that I forgot that you told me, and I'm pretty sure that Clue and Cletus was on the phone when it happened, that you weren't worried about anybody fucking talking about anything you said because accidents happen.
Oh,
right.
So you withheld all that too. Wow. Wow, you've withheld a lot, haven't you, Elevated Truth? You knew that these people were bad. You protected them. You stuck by their side for 2.5 years. While they did shit to me, while they did shit to Seth, while they did shit to every single person that's tried to help Seth, you stood right by their side and allowed them to do it, knowing all of this you were hiding from the world. Do I have it right now? Do I have my information accurate? Elevated? You piece of shit. Do I have all of my information? You want to talk about me, sir? Well, I could go on for days about you. What you got on me? Oh, that I stood up and helped Seth? Well, I guess you understand why now, don't you? I put myself in between you and him. And I paid a horrible, and when I say you, I mean all of you. I paid a horrible cost trying to protect that man. You guys willfully and intentionally lied to law enforcement to have me thrown in jail. You were part of all of that, weren't you? What do you know about that, Elevated? What do you know about that? The conspiracy against me. How deep is it? You gonna keep hiding about that too and lying about that? You don't like me for what? For doing what was right all the time? Is that why you don't like me? Because you guys are on the wrong side of the things doing this dirty, scurvy shit? Is that why you don't like Bullhorn Betty? Because I stand on my own and you know exactly where I stand, where I fall, because I'm very, very, I don't do this sneaky shit. You've never seen me do this sneaky shit. I don't hold things back. If I have information, it's going to YouTube or it's going to law enforcement, one of the two. I definitely don't keep things inside because I'm here for the truth. I'm here for the case. There's no need to lie. There's no need to hide, right? That's where I come from. But you don't like me for what? For telling the truth? And your name is Elevated Truth? And you're supposed to elevate the truth? It seems like you covered it up. Maybe your name, instead of being Elevated Truth, needs to be Covered Up Truth. Covered Up Truth, because that truly is more in line with the truth about who you are as a person, is it not? So go ahead. You can hate Betty all you want. But I'll never be you. Thank God. Thank God. I hope you change your ways, sir. I didn't come here to run you over or trash you, but you deserved everything you got on this channel, and you know you did. If you're a man, if you're a real man, you know what I did was right, and what you did was wrong. That's what you know. Now, you can turn this around and make it about me and you, or you can sit here and take constructive criticism and find out how to do better. The ball's in your court. But it seems like you want to help, but I will refuse to allow you to be the White Knight because you caused so much damage. You personally caused so much damage to Seth for no reason, an innocent father that was truly trying, and still is, trying to find his son every single day. I have never seen a man work so hard to find answers than I have of Seth. And we've worked with a lot of families on this channel. Seth has overcome so much. I've seen him at pretty low times. And those low times were birthed because of you and your crew. I had to sit there and watch that, and so did everybody else that was there with me. We've had to sit there and watch Seth cry. We've had to sit there and watch Tony cry. We've had to sit there and watch our friends be destroyed. We had to sit there and watch me go to jail. All fighting for the truth, and you were harboring it. You were holding it. You were keeping it to yourself and enabling the people that caused so much pain and destruction in this story. That you yourself became a monster in this story. And that's something I don't think, Truth, you're going to be able to argue yourself out of. The only way you're going to get yourself out of this is acknowledging what your part was in all of it and apologizing to Seth and apologizing to all the people that have been here on the right side of this, working our asses off for the truth. You owe everybody apologies for what you did, because you didn't just hurt Seth. You hurt his son. You hurt the efforts for his son. All for what? Clicks and views, and you're still doing it. So I don't ever want to hear you talking about me ever again. Ever again. When your history is 10 times worse, sir. I'm here to help families, not obstruct justice, not hinder the truth, not hinder activity or real searching or real leads to find a kid. You guys turn this into a fucking game. You owe an apology to a lot of people, sir. And I know you'll never be the man to give it. That's what I know about you. You know why? Because I've watched you. And I know that this right here is only for all of you. Because you're a narcissistic, sociopathic pig. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. He knew. We're going to be going over the videos later this afternoon. We didn't do it yesterday. Now we're going to get into Miss Nancy Guthrie. As you guys know, I have a lot to say about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. It's one of the reasons why I don't cover the case too much, because I'm angry. I'm angry with the case. I'm angry with the idiots in the case. I'm angry with everything Seth had to go through. I'm angry with everything that his team had to go through. I'm angry at everything that they did to Tony. May he rest his soul. I'm angry. And he thinks he's going to come out here and act like a fucking hero over my dead body. And again, it better be fucking dead. All right, guys. I don't usually do this, but I think with the direction of the show and how angry and upset I truly am, and I am upset over this. It's keeping everything I can to keep from crying right now over this, because I'm so angry with everything that Truth knows about this case and has harbored. And he thinks he's going to look like a fucking hero again over my dead body. Never, ever. I've never flip-flopped in this case. You, sir, are flip-flopping. You owe this man an apology. You were wrong. 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 And you knew it. You knew it. Aw, Peggy. Okay, we'll break things up. Sonya's telling me, get off of it. Let's move it on. And we got 2 birthdays. I didn't realize we'll go over this. It looks like Peggy's got a BHB birthday, and I believe Dan had a BHB birthday yesterday. I am so sorry. I did not see. I'm so sorry. I was awful yesterday. I am so sorry, Dan. We love you. Peggy, we love you. Anybody else that has a birthday today or yesterday, either a BHB birthday or a real birthday, we are going to sing you a birthday tune. We're going to sing you a birthday tune. This is what we do to give back, okay? Betty is I think everybody deserves a dorky special birthday song from a content creator. I think if content creators are not celebrating their birthday with their family, then I think that they should, okay? I'm not going to call them pieces of crap. I don't believe that. But I believe they should incorporate their audience in. I think we should celebrate our audience. Without our audience, we would not be where we are. So we do goofy shit like this over on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Have we filled up the cuss bucket enough today? I'm just wondering. Can you put the charges for the cuss words in it and see if anybody wants to sponsor? Wants to sponsor the show? We were so bad today. Oh my gosh, we were so bad. Betty needs to go to the pokey. Lock me up. I am done. Lock me up. I am done. All right. To Dan and Peggy, we got our echo on. What a do. Okay, let's stop. We're getting the pipes going. Okay, everybody sing happy birthday with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Peggy and Dan. Happy birthday to you. All right, we could have done better. I was a little off, but it's what we want. Maybe it's because I've been screaming all morning. We've had Screamy Betty. Happy birthday, everyone. You don't look a day over 21. Oh, thank you. Well, how did you know? I'm only 20. I'm not even old enough to drink. That's why I don't drink anymore. Drink at all. Let's see. What can we sing? I feel like karaoke. Do. Okay, we're done. Okay, Betty. You're on the screen long enough. Get it. Jeez Louise. Okay. Oh, Delilah's like, oh, I hear her singing. You gotta come up here. Why are you going to bed? Come up here and say hi. Come here. Come say hi to everybody. You don't want to say hi to everybody? Why are you getting so shy? Come here. Delilah. Come. Come. Come here. Come here. Say hi. Come. Say hi to everybody. Just sing a birthday song. They want some birthday. They want some birthday love. Say hi, guys. Say hi. Say arf, arf, arf. Arf, arf, arf. There she is. She's such a beautiful little baby. You're a star. I just wanted to know. You don't even know you're a star. You're so humble. You're so humble. You're such a humble star. You're such a humble star. Okay. All right, guys. So now that was a nice little break. It kind of shake the funk. Come on, everybody. Get up and shake. Shake. Shake the funk. Right? We got to shake the funk. Come on. Get it out. Get it out. Get it out. Ugh. Get the out. All right. Okay. Gotta get the funk out. Ugh, gotta get the Proudfoot funk out. Ugh, it's like every time we talk about him, it's like I feel so icky. Like I want to stop the show and go get a freaking shower. That's how disgusting I feel talking about it. I love Sebastian. I love Seth. But every time I talk about this case and Chris and Katie, I feel like I need a freaking bleach shower. Like their is getting all over me. You know, because you know how they say, like, don't like the karma stuff, you know? Horsey love. Oh, Horsey loves 20. We just sang birthday songs to everybody. We just sang birthday songs to everybody. You gonna make me sing you up for 24 months. 24. One more. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Okay, we're done. If anybody else's birthday's today, I just sang twice. Take a little piece of one, a little piece of the other. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Okay. All right, now that we're done being goofy. It's nice to see you. All right, guys. So this is where we kind of, you know, start switching gears. So we just went over Sebastian Rogers. As you guys can see, I'm angry. I am so angry about that case. It's hard to talk about that case anymore because every time I talk about it, I start cussing. I get belligerent. I'm angry. And it's because the case has now, it's no longer a case. It's personal. It's personal when they had me thrown in jail. It became very personal. It was a job. It was a story. It was something we could advocate for. It was doing our part to help a child that was missing. And they turned that beauty into something that was horrible because we were trying to help. Yes, I think Katie did terrible things to her child. I'm going to leave it at that out of respect for the father. But I think this lady did terrible things to this child. I think this man named Chris Proudfoot did terrible things to this child. And to think that people were helping them. And now those people want to act like they're some savior over my dead body. And it better be dead. Dead. Over my dead body. Will you white knight after causing such harm to this man? And then disrespecting his team that stood by his side since the beginning, that never flip-flopped, that never had to record, conversations, that never had to have the aha moments like you had to do with Chris and Katie. We've never had those experiences. Ever. Not one time. Our focus has always been Sebastian. And you guys hated us for that. And now what? Now you want a white knight. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. I hope you apologize to Seth. he deserves an apology from you. That's my message. Now moving over to Pima County. This is Sumner County 2.0. This is Sumner County. This is Sumner County 2.0. Why? You see these a-holes over here, Chris and Katie Proudfoot, these monsters right here. Well, they know the sheriff. They know his mommy is a realtor out there and knows the police chiefs wives, all the politicians, right? And we know how political stuff works, right? I'm here taking over my county. We just lost a major feat. We've been able to run for 8 solid years, and today, this last election, was kind of the breaks. And I can't stand it. So if Manatee County is going to be so stupid, if I'm going to have such ignorant dumbasses in my county, well, you guys can go down there and fight the county yourself, because I am certainly going to support that you guys get plenty of traffic and plenty of building where you're at. Why? Because you know what? If that's what you want, I'm going to serve it on a silver platter until you can't stand it no more. And if your children start dying or people start dying on the roads, guess what? You voted for it. And I will definitely support your vote. You're going to get Manatee County is going to get exactly what it voted for. I'm going to make sure of it. I'm absolutely going to make sure of it. We heard the voters. We're going to make sure they get everything they voted for. Everything. Everything. You're going to be in a lot of misery over the next 4 years. I'm going to make sure of it. And it's not even going to be me. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make the county commission keep doing what they're doing. That's what they voted for. So I'm going to be supporting every single building. I'm going to be supporting going over the FDAB line. I am going to be Pat Neal's best friend. I'm going to be Pat Neal's best friend in this county, and I'm going to make sure that every single person that voted for Pat Neal gets the full service of Pat Neal. That's what I'm going to make sure Manatee County gets. That is exactly what I'm going to make sure Manatee County gets. You voted for it. I'm going to listen to the votes. I'm going to listen to the votes. So Miss Nancy Guthrie, 84-year-old grandmother, ripped out of her bed in the middle of the night. Why do her and Sebastian have anything in common? It's the corrupted county, and it's the lackadaisy investigation. Those are the things these two cases have in common. These two cases have terrible sheriffs. Pima County has a criminal sheriff. Sumner County just has a dumb sheriff. An ignorant sheriff that looks good on a postcard. Yeah, he's a good-looking man, but everything from here down, right down to his ankles, is bullshit. Literally, right? He's got nothing. It's all air. He looks good on a poster. That's all he's good for. He has no brain cells, none whatsoever. If he did, he would have stayed out in that landfill. Now that I get the understanding of why they went out to the landfill to begin with, they believe Sebastian Rogers' body was out there, and they didn't even stay out there for 5 weeks. If Sebastian truly went into the garbage can, it would have taken them over 5 weeks to unearth Sebastian out of that garbage. 5 weeks. Sumner County refused to put in the effort. Sumner County refused to put in the effort to find Sebastian out there in the landfill. Because I've been a part watching multiple landfill searches, all of which, because everybody's like, oh, landfill search. I can tell you every single landfill search that I have known about or been involved in, including Quentin Simon, if they stay there and they do their job, they find the results. Sumner County never even did it. They didn't want to be out there in that stinky garbage, and you know what? Sebastian wasn't worth them enough being in hazmat suits out there for a month trying to locate him. If they truly believe this man, and that is what is being implied by Elevated Truth. Elevated Truth is basically implying that Sebastian was thrown away in a garbage can and went out to the landfill. That's what he's implying. Okay? Now, is that true? It's possible it could be true. We know a lot of people disappear in landfills. We know Jake Haro threw his son in a garbage dumpster. Haro was never found again. Quentin Simon, we only had some minor bone fragments of Quentin Simon left after he went into the landfill. So people disappear in entirety at the landfill. Is Summer Wells at the landfill? Well, we do know her mom left in a truck. Did she have one of those barrels on the back of that truck? I don't know. I never saw the video. We just know that her mom left the area twice in a pickup truck. Why? We don't know. But she did. So we have all this information that's coming out, and we know that there was a focal point of the garbage truck. We know that. That was one of the main conversation pieces at the beginning of this case, was the garbage can, the garbage truck, the landfill search. But I can tell you, with all the landfill searches I've been involved in or watched in some way, somehow, they've lasted for weeks. Okay, we got, yeah, you're not. Somebody get Blank Screen out of here. He's in here with his real name. Get him out of my chat. Get him out of my chat. You've only got a little bit more time, so enjoy it, Blank Screen, because by next month, and I had to put it off until next month because we got court hearing, but I am going after you federally. I'm just letting you know. Can somebody get him out of my chat? Never mind, I'll do it. Give me a second.
This is a real money game, powered by past motor racing.
I wish I had a way to get him out of my chat. I just saw him in. He removed a message. And now people have talked, so I've got to go up. I can't go up any higher. Okay, let me find it. I may have to put this back in the dock and then redo it. Hold on a second. Let me find it. There it is. Put it back in the dock. Put this, I'll put it right here so I can find it. I'm putting this back in the dock. This guy is not. Thank you. Thank you, Son. Well, now that I put this back in the dock, so now I've got to put it back out. I couldn't find it. Yeah, make sure he's out. I don't want him in here. He knows he's not supposed to be in here, but he does it anyways, and that's okay. Because he's going to have to explain all of this shit to a judge. At some point, he's going to have to, and he's never going to be able. He's going to be in a lot of trouble. So we'll let him keep doing. You're gonna keep playing stupid games until you get stupid prizes. But I'll be the one that I can't wait until I get you, motherfucker. I really can't. I can't wait until I get you. Not only that, I can't wait until you go to jail, until I can have a mugshot of you, because you're one that's going to go to jail. I can guarantee that. Mark my words, you will be in jail. Whatever career you think you have, I'm about to ruin it. Make no mistake about that. Make no mistake about that. I plan on seeing you in jail, along with Queen Bee. I hope I can get burnt toast too. If I can get the trifecta, I will. But I'll go for you first. You're the easiest. You're the one that has the most criminal conduct on your side. So we have a breakdown. This is from the Deception Detective, and I didn't know what this actual report was at first, and then I realized that this right here is the chain of command. This is the chain of command. This is the breakdown of the chain of command. So let me see if I've got this in here. I do. So I think you guys need to download this. If you guys have been following the case of Miss Nancy Guthrie, you guys need to follow, you guys need to download this, because this is all the heads of the departments and how these departments work and how the chain of command is, where Chris Nanos is, who's under Chris Nanos, how the departments are, and how they break down. I thought it was a very interesting, interesting sheet here. You know, of where, so we have people we can call, we have people we can befriend, we have people we can research online and find out who they are. There are corrupted sheriffs and deputies in this list here. There's corruption in Pima County Sheriff Department. We know that, and we're partnering. The social media has partnered unofficially with the sheriff's union out there. Period. I mean, I think that the true crime community has bought in to help protect law-abiding deputies that want to do good work out there in Pima County. And we have bought into Aaron Cross. Aaron Cross's drumbeat, you know, what he needs us to hear, what he needs us to see, what he needs us to put out to the world. I think the true crime genre has bought in to him. Mainstream media, local mainstream media is going to be loyal to Chris Nanos because it's a corrupted system. And in order to have a corrupted system, you have to have prongs of corruption. You have to have the media on board with it. You have to have the DA on board with it. You have to have the judiciary on board with it. And then you have to have somebody in charge on board with it. And we have that dynamic here in Pima County. We do not have good mainstream media out there. Yeah, when they're telling you the weather and stuff like that, that's good. But when when they need to hold their politicians accountable, they side with their politicians and they manipulate the public to keep the power. Instead of being honest to the public and telling the public the truth, they manipulate the public so they maintain power, because obviously your media has an interest in it as well. So you have corruption on every single level that you can imagine of corruption out there in Pima County. So in order for you to be a head of a department under Chris Nanos, you have to be corrupted. Okay, he only puts his friends in, and his friends do not have the experience necessary to run those departments in many cases. So this is where all the problems are coming from in Nancy Guthrie's case. And then you look that and compare that to like Sebastian Rogers' case, you see kind of some parallel issues going on with law enforcement from one case to another. And when I started taking the case and I started realizing who Chris Nanos was, I made this statement, and this was before we even, this was early on. I want to say like the third week in February, I made this assessment that Pima County was basically Sumner County 2.0. And I had never, I said that because I really did kind of feel that, like I could start seeing indicators on it, but I truly kind of thought it was never going to pan out. I felt like, and I think I even said, I feel the need to say this right now because I feel like we're going in this direction. If I recall, I feel like that's how I approached that statement. But whenever I said Pima County was Sumner County 2.0, I never anticipated it to be an accurate assessment. I honestly was stating it rhetorically, but it ended up being like Sumner County on steroids. So that statement ended up coming to be true. So when it comes to Nancy Guthrie was ripped out of her bed by masked gunmen, and we just had a officer and his wife shot in their home yesterday. Now, I want you guys, if you've been watching my station and my show for any significant time, how many of you guys heard me state the vehicle I believe is the vehicle that was used in Nancy Guthrie's case? Does anybody remember that? Give me just a second. You guys think about it and ponder it over, and I'll be right back. Hold on. Oh, sorry about that. Hold on, let me get my stuff fed. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to pause right at the minute. Nanos has been corrupt with cartels since El Paso. I believe that, Mike. Sorry. I believe that, Mike. We didn't come into this not liking Chris Nanos, but but it ended up being that way because we started seeing his manipulative ways. Now, the title of this is I Know But Won't Tell. I Just Won't Tell, right? I know, but I just won't tell. So this goes to both, because we have Elevated Truth that's withheld a lot of information for 2 years about this case in order to be friends with monsters that injured and hurt a little boy inside their home. Out of everything that we know, the Department of Children and Family Services reports, at least portions of them, have been disclosed through a filing that Seth Rogers did in that case. So we know that, Sebastian was abused and his stepdad wanted him dead. And now he's gone and never been seen again. Okay. His father is hoping that when he turns 18, he's going to magically appear. I hope that he is right. I hope that he's right. Unfortunately, I don't join his father in that result, in that ending result. But I do absolutely hope that he's right and I'm wrong. So we have the issues with their investigation. Both of these cases are horribly investigated. We've got Sebastian Rogers, where the persons of interest are friends and partners with the county. They're from a developer family, so they bring in a lot of tax revenue and money for that county in the work that they do. So they have a lot of pull politically in that county, and I believe that political connection that they have is keeping them from being arrested or charged with the abuse of this child. They abused this child, according to the reports from the Department of Children and Family Services. He was going to be removed from this home and most likely put in foster care right before they ultimately closed the case, which is awfully suspect that they closed the case. But we know how threatening Chris Proudfoot is. And if he had any indication that this boy was going to be ripped out of their house and put into foster care, I'm pretty sure he probably bowed up on a lady or made her fear for herself or her job or be sued or whatever, Chris can threaten somebody with to get what he wants out of it. He tried to do that with Bullhorn Betty, and now we're in lawsuits, and I hope he's bankrupt by the time we're done. I can't stand these people. I think they're monsters. I hope Chris and Katie rot in jail. I think that's where they ultimately need to go. But only time will tell. Only time will tell. Equally, we have Nancy Guthrie, on the other hand, kind of dealing with the same type of things, except I believe that it might be somebody connected to her, but not familial. But the majority of my audience, in all fairness, has been laser focused on Tommaso and Annie. I've just never thought it was them. But again, we had two people that were murdered yesterday. And you guys remember earlier on in this case, I described what I believe was the description of the getaway vehicle for Nancy Guthrie. Does anybody remember what it was? Put it in the chat if you guys remember just the general description of the vehicle I believe was used in the Nancy Guthrie case. I know there's somebody in this chat that knows the answer, that remembers what we discussed earlier. I'll wait. I did state a vehicle that I thought was used in the crime. Does anybody remember what the vehicle that I stated was used in the crime? Nope. Not a white soul. That never came from me. That came from everybody else. Somebody knows it. I believe in you. Somebody knows what vehicle I think was used in the crime. I never gave a specific make or model. It was a description of the vehicle. Come on, Karen. I know you know this. Betty fan, I know you know this. Somebody's got to remember. You guys don't remember? No, none of that. No. As soon as you guys hear me say it, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I missed that. Smincy's getting close. Ding, ding, ding. Gray SUV. Oma for the winner. Oma. Good gracious. You guys forget. How can you? I've only talked about one vehicle. Well, I guess I did reference, I said, oh, well, I think we are looking for a gray truck. Yeah. No, it was a gray SUV. Now, if you guys know anything, Carlos and Luke both of their vehicles were taken. Both of their vehicles were gray SUVs. Did you guys notice that? Both of their vehicles were gray SUVs. Now, why is this so important? Because just yesterday we had several revelations in the Nancy Guthrie case. Breaking bombshell news. Bombshell news. Part of it came from this reporting right here on the Brew Crew. Okay, Charles Brewer. He's an officer. I thought he might have been a judge too, but I think this is just, you know, the satire, because it sounds like he's law enforcement. He's retired law enforcement. So that kind of explains it. But anyways, he brought up, somebody had pointed out this unknown light source. Now, I went a step further. Even though we don't see a person there, I know for a fact a light source cannot move from up here to down here without somebody moving it, okay? You can see that the door is still shut, so it's not somebody inside the house. It's not reflection on a window or anything like that, because all you can see is door. So for that light just to come out of nowhere, someone has to be holding it and using it, a secondary person. And then, of course, we had the conversation where Pretty Little Clues and Rhythm and Clues sent me some compelling images that show even a third individual potentially being at the car. So now we have what appears to be two people at the front door and potentially one person standing at the car. Okay, that's three people and a gray SUV. Why is this important? Now, I'm not certain that whatever happened yesterday with the Tucson police officer, the 23-year-old young rookie police officer, and his wife that worked for Pima County Dispatch. I think she worked at the correctional facility, the jail. They were both in law enforcement. They had what appears to be some type of home invasion with three individuals, masked individuals, in what? A gray SUV. Good morning, Criminal Network. It's nice to see you. I hope you are doing well. I hope you are doing well. Good day to you, sir. You're up awfully early. It's like 6 or 7 there. Fiance. What's the fiance? Fiance who? Whom? Gray or darling blue SUV. No, it's definitely gray. It was definitely gray. I need coffee too, but Doc said I have to cut back due to ulcers. Oh no! My doctor would be over it. Yay, here supporting you. Anybody who supports you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Rumor has it, and I need to, just in case, I need to go ahead and make you a... I'm making you a, please don't, I'm making you a mod, but it's just because as you start getting popular, people are going to start impersonating you. We're so used to it. I did this for 857 Tucson, so I'm going to make you a mod in here too. So there you go. So we know it's you. When you come in here, we know we're dealing with the legitimate you. People are assholes on these platforms, okay? They're just straight assholes. So I hope you guys are all doing well out there. And the more that people know you, the more crap that's going to go on. And sometimes it'll subside. They'll find somebody else to fuck with, but sometimes not. So I hope you guys, I've been seeing what everybody's been doing to you guys out there, and it's just bullshit. Excuse my language, but it is. Okay. So getting back here, we found this porch guy. As soon as the man walks up, let's look at this. We're going to go back to the FBI because I think it's important. And we noticed this yesterday. Now that we believe that we have a third person, look at that. Okay, now I don't know if you know this, but the very first second, look at this man's eyes. He's looking right where that unknown light source ends up coming from. Look, right there. He's looking at someone. If you look at his eyes, let me see if I can blow this up a little bit more. Hold on a second. Look at his eyes, okay? He's looking, right where that unknown light source is coming from is right where this man is looking. as he's coming up to this door. You can almost see his nose under that mask. That's so creepy. That's so freaking creepy. Just creepy. It is just creepy. But he looks like he's looking at somebody. Oh, the cop's fiance, they weren't married. Gotcha. Thank you. I thought they were saying they were married. I don't know. Okay, well, fiance. Either way, it's just sad. She survived it, but her fiance didn't. She's in stable condition. But I just thought it was really interesting because I've had some, when I started hearing about that story, I'm like, they said it was a masked gunman, 3 masked gunmen in a gray SUV. And I'm like, we're looking for 3 masked gunmen and a gray SUV, right? Because that's what I feel like we're looking at. I feel like Luke's car was a gray SUV, even though it was a different make and model than Carlos's car, which is a gray SUV. One was a Nissan, one was a Range Rover, but they were both gray SUVs. And now we're hearing about 3 masked gunmen going and shooting up a cop's house and killing him. She got shot in the shoulder. She was lucky. Well, let me ask you this. Do you guys know what it was about? Was it like drugs? Or was it like, I can't imagine, like, what would 23-year-olds have that mask? I mean, the police, what dumbass goes and shoots up a cop's house and murders a cop? Like, the wall of blue is about to come down on you like you have never seen in your life. You don't kill, I don't care if you've got a corrupted county or not, you don't kill a cop and get away with it. You just don't. I got a lot accomplished at night. 2 masked men. I heard it was 3. Originally I heard it was 3 masked men in a gray SUV. Family says, oh, I bet it was a targeted hit. It looked like it was a targeted hit. But so does Nancy Guthrie's. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that Nancy Guthrie's house was a targeted hit. I wonder if it was... When I start hearing cops' houses getting targeted, I'm sorry, there's just something that just never sits right with me, especially as young as they are, 23 years old. Big balls to do home invasion at 6 a.m. against 2... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's some serious stuff there. That tells... I feel like 23-year-olds, being in law enforcement and having a home invasion in the middle of the morning, like bright and early in the morning, that tells me a few things. One, these people knew these people's behaviors. They knew when the best time to do this was. They didn't break in the middle of the night. It was first thing in the morning. They caught them off guard. They knew their routines. So that's number one. Number two is this being there's something not sitting right with these 2 people being in law enforcement and having their front door kicked in. Do they live a double life? That's my next question. Is there a double life type of thing going on here? Guys, we have corrupted officers all the time. Young corrupted officers that get into law enforcement, that are slinging drugs on the side and doing other things. I don't want to be disparaging to any law enforcement officer. That's not my intent here, especially with an officer going down and losing his life. I want, we want to give much respect to any law enforcement officer. This is not to be interpreted to be disrespectful in any way, shape, or form, or disparage a victim's life in any way, shape, or form. It's simply for commentary, okay? So I don't want to get a whole bunch of hate mail. It's not my intention, but we have to ask questions. Okay, I hope you guys understand that. We have to ask questions, and the questions are, we got 2 23-year-old people that are in law enforcement having their front door kicked in and shot up, okay? So it looks pretty targeted. There's only a few reasons why you're getting targeted like that, okay? So that's all I'm trying to understand. But no matter what anybody does in this world, they don't deserve to lose their life. I want to be very clear on that, okay? They don't deserve to lose their life unless they are a pedo, okay? If they hurt women and children, well, we got no qualms with you going into a body bag, okay? I'll tell you that right now. I'm pretty barbaric when it comes to that. All right, I'm an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth type of woman. Very barbaric. If we could have public hangings, I'd be down. I'd be down like 4 flat tires on public hangings. Alex was a car tipster. Great work, man. Was the car tipster. Alex was the car tipster. What does that mean? Prayers to Carlos Ramirez family. Yes, thank you. Both worked COs at Pima. I heard, well, the first reports I got is that he was a police officer for Tucson Police. That's what I heard. I heard the first report that I read was that, but it also had the 3 masked individuals in the gray SUV. Then the SUV was determined to be an Acura of some sort, an Acura SUV, a gray Acura SUV, and now I'm hearing that it might be only 2 subjects instead of 3. So just wanted to show the contrast to that, because I don't know why these people went in there, but we have potentially 3 subjects here on the outside of Miss Nancy Guthrie's house, and I believe that's a gray SUV sitting behind them out there in the driveway. So I just found it awfully interesting that I'm looking for 3 masked individuals with a gray SUV, and then we just had some law enforcement officers, whether they worked at the jail, like correction officers, or they worked for a law enforcement body. Either way, they were murdered potentially. One at least was murdered by potentially 3 masked men in a gray SUV. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's the same people, but we are looking for 3 individuals that like to kick in doors, and clearly they went for a grandma. Did they go for somebody a little younger, maybe that wouldn't die from being carried out of the house, but they ended up shooting him and killing him anyway. So I don't know. Arizona, no, it's never happened. He has to go. This is crazy. I got to tell you, for the folks that live out in Arizona, this is a little crazy for me. We found the vehicle in question on Facebook. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I missed that on Facebook Marketplace. It was being sold. Oh, yeah. Well, good. I'm glad you guys do that. Yeah, when I say we found it, our entire true crime. Well, that's what I speak the same way. Don't worry. When I say we, like I was talking about, we got kicked out of our GOP on my Facebook post, which we did. But it's the county, not me. I was already kicked out of the GOP before. So, just to put that out there. Actually, I wasn't kicked out. I just didn't go back, and I lost my position, and then I tried to get my position, and then I had opposition, right? I had opposition because I'm grassroots. I'm not establishment. I don't support establishment candidates. So we've been having major goodness. We've had a lot of good stuff with our grassroots effort in Manatee County, but then they kicked us all out of our local GOP and ran their establishment candidates, and all their establishment candidates just won. So we need to take back over our GOP, and I hope everybody just gets involved. GOP, DNC, doesn't matter, just get involved. I heard 87 say his stream that there was an active shooter at the vehicle on I-10. That was a couple hours later. Interesting. I'd like to know who these people are. Obviously, there's some major criminal elements. I mean, we very rarely have home invasions. It seems like since we've been covering this case for 6 months, and look at how many home invasion type of things we have out here in Pima County. I mean, that's unnerving for me. I don't understand how people aren't seeing this and being just completely irate over those numbers. I mean, you guys are having home invasions weekly in Pima County, or some variation of somebody walking into the house and stealing stuff, or shooting people, or hurting people, or whatever the case may be. I mean, there's a lot of it. The accurate they were looking for, and we gave it to Pima County detectives. Good for you. That's what I love about the true crime genre. Riley, they found the vehicle. Yep. Nice. I sent you a personal email just then whenever you get a chance. Okay. Thank you, Popcorn. Alex Nanas does not give it... who's that? Well, guys, be nice. Be nice. I don't know if you guys are... I don't think you guys are being mean, but sometimes I misread some of these things. So just be nice. 2 hours later, who knows? I'm not seeing an email. I'm not seeing an email from you. If you sent me an email, make sure you guys are spelling my name right, because we had yesterday, what was it? Something girl yesterday was trying to send me an email, and I think she was sending it to the wrong email. So clearing house before people start throwing people under the bus. Yeah, cleaning house before people start throwing people under the bus. They can't hurt me, BHB. Yeah, well, you know what? I said the same thing, and I got to tell you, I went through some pretty rough times on this platform. I got to tell you, I went through some pretty rough times on this platform. It was not a treat. It was not a treat. But I'm glad it's somebody else besides me. That's all I got. Is that horrible for me to say? I don't wish this on anybody, but I'm glad it's somebody besides me. I already made my bones. I went through 4 years of this shit. I've retired, okay? And now I'm so angry with everybody. I just wish they would. I mean, if I find out who you are and you're pissing in my Cheerios, I'm suing your ass. I'm done. I'm done. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that makes these people stop, is when you hit them with a lawsuit. And they're like, oh my gosh, all they ever do is just hit us with a lawsuit because you won't shut your fucking pie hole. So they know who bought that vehicle, found a guy. If they haven't, then they're working on it. I mean, some of these investigations, it's not as easy as what we do. We can work circles around law enforcement. Why? Because we don't have the paperwork. Okay, I don't know if you guys know about law enforcement or criminal cases or anything. The reason why they're so blessed slow is because they got to document everything. They can't move at lightning speed like we do. They have like literally reports that they have to fill out. You guys remember those essays that we had to do in middle school and high school? You know, those long essays that take 3 and 4 pages and stuff like that? Well, they have to do that on a daily. Okay, so these are things that we don't have to do. We put them on these sheets. They're not official sheets. Like, they've got to explain all this stuff. They've got to go and testify under all these things, that these are all accurate, true, and correct under oath, you know, and all this other stuff. There's so much stuff that goes on criminal cases that people just don't understand, that slow these cases down when law enforcement is investigating these cases. So, you know, we do give law enforcement some heat, because when they drop the ball, it really frustrates us, because they already delay the cases so much for all this paperwork that they're required to fill out anyways. So when they start making mistakes, that's what perturbs us. We know that they're human. We know that these things are crawling like a snail, because it's not, they have to, there's so much that goes into criminal cases that I can't even express to you guys how much procedure is involved. Okay, but there's a litany of paperwork. Think about, we've talked about like the first responders, them coming to the scenes. Okay, they have to start getting out charts and start logging stuff almost immediately if there's a crime. Right? They come there, they evaluate, they speak to the person. You don't see them with paperwork, but then you see them go back to their car, and then they sit in the passenger seat of their car for what feels like a lifetime, right? And that's them informing dispatch of what's going on, getting them working, and then starting to set up all the paperwork that they need to start filling out. They need to start getting that into the case file. So now you're seeing them sitting in their thing, just working on their computer. You don't really know what they're doing, but they're getting like the evidence sheet log, the initial form that they have to fill out for their initial, you know, stop at that house. This is not just the incident report that they have to fill out. There is a crime. So now they have to start following procedures of crime, the crime scene procedures, but they didn't even follow the crime scene procedures, because my understanding, they never taped up their house as a crime scene initially. It was never, no crime scene tape ever came out to secure that crime scene. That's what I was told. The first time that house had crime scene placed up on it, from everything that I understand, was 4 days later when FBI went back to re-canvass the house. That's when we saw the crime scene tape go up. We've never seen the crime scene tape go up the first round. And that's what everybody's saying. They never locked the crime scene down. They've never locked the crime scene down until 4 days later. And that's when they locked the crime scene down. So coming back to some of the ransom notes that they gave us, you know, obviously, could some of that information been had in those ransom notes from somebody that could have viewed these things? Yes. The answer is yes. And we still don't believe we have all of the ransom notes released to us by Pima County. Those first two, I think, are distractions. I don't think those are the ones that they believe are legitimate. I don't. Because we've heard from the beginning of this case that one of the ransom notes specifically described what Miss Nancy Guthrie was wearing. We've never seen a ransom note that has a description of anything that Miss Nancy Guthrie was wearing. The only thing that we see is the Apple smartwatch, or excuse me, the smartwatch, not even the Apple Watch, which almost implies that the person didn't physically see the watch or saw, maybe from a long form angle, like, maybe the media zooming in may have seen something that appeared to be a watch and they assumed it was a smartwatch and they chose to use smartwatch instead of Apple Watch in case it wasn't an Apple. And smartwatch could encompass more than just Apple. It could encompass all activity type watches. So that was kind of an assumption, it appeared. So I truly don't believe we have all the ransom notes. So again, coming back to the title of this show, we have information we're just not telling you. They don't want us to know. They don't want us to have the truth. It seems like they're intentionally and willfully dragging these cases out as long as humanly possible. Why? Because they refuse to relinquish information that could close the case sooner. Why? Because they're idiots. They were taught somewhere by some bonehead that says, oh, this is best practices. Okay? And in their mind, it makes sense. In the rest of everybody else's mind, we think it's horseshit. And the one opportunity they always use, well, we have information. What if somebody comes up and says, oh, we did it and they didn't really do it, right? Well, how many people, what is the statistics of people actually coming and confessing to a crime? For them to constantly be using this as a reason not to share information with the public. Right? Because they always come back and say, well, what if somebody decides to confess to a crime and it's not them? This is the only way we will know if they are the real guy or not, right? Because they condition us. They condition us to believe that to be true. And we believe them because they're our government. And why would they tell us? Remember, they're from the government. They're here to help us. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that. So they're conditioning us. They think if they tell us as many times as they want, that we're going to just adopt this. I don't believe that's true. I believe that's a manipulation strategy to the public. If they tell us this long enough, we just believe it. I don't believe any of this has really helped cases, okay? Maybe less than 0.5% of cases this strategy has worked on. Less than 0.5%, maybe even less than 1%, maybe less than 100% has this strategy actually worked on. But it's an excuse that they can give you to why they can't be transparent about cases. But we don't have these problems in Canada because we're following the case of Lily and Jack Sullivan. And while they do keep some things too close to their chest, these things about the 911 call, the results from polygraph tests, the results from different tests, and they put that all out to the public. They're very transparent to the public. So if they can do law enforcement in Canada with transparency, why can't we do law enforcement in the United States with transparency? It's because we have we got too many people that don't know what they're doing. And this is the way that they can hide their mistakes from the public. And they do hide a lot of their mistakes from the public. In Sebastian Rogers' case, there were many mistakes had. Many. Including believing the parents. They allowed the crime scene to be contaminated because they refused to remove the family from Sebastian's home and turn it into a crime scene and process it appropriately. They failed to do it because they're ignorant. Eric Craddock, he looks good on a billboard. He looks good on a postcard. What he is terrible at is being a sheriff. Okay? He's a good-looking man that looks good on a poster. That's it. Maybe he has a better modeling career than he does law enforcement. Okay? But he is nothing more than a good-looking man to get a click and a view, right? A voter ballot. That's all he's there for. That's all he's there for. Somebody needs to primary that piece of shit. He has tanked this case. He has ran from the father. The father, Eric Craddock, ran from the father. Literally ran from the father and locked the father out of the sheriff's office. so he didn't have to speak to the father. That's what Eric Craddock did. That is the sheriff of Sumner County. And can you believe nobody in Sumner County has a problem with that? The people that go and sit in those pews every single day, every single Sunday, have no problem with their sheriff running away from a victim of a crime. And they're just ready to hire him again. I have no respect for communities like that, right? I have no respect for my community right now. I have no respect for my community right now. I'm ready to help speed up the suffering of my community. That's the kind of political activist I am. You want something, I'm going to shovel it right down your throat. Since you are so fucking smart and you think you know what you're doing, you're complaining about flooding, you're complaining about traffic, yet you just hired the people that are causing your flooding and traffic. You can't fix stupid. You cannot fix stupid. You truly cannot fix stupid. So, you know what I do? I go around it, over it, or under it. And I'm sick and tired of dealing with Pat Neal. I'm sick and tired of dealing with a criminal. I got to be careful. He's got $1 billion. He will sue me, and I really don't care. I hope I do get an opportunity to dance with that piece of shit. He has ruined my community, and every opportunity I get, I yell at him. Every time I get a $2 billion man. I went up there. I thought he bought pizza for our staff, and I about came unglued. I looked at him. I said, "Did you buy these people pizza?" I screamed in his face. He's like, "No." I'm like, "Okay." Turn around. I don't care whether you got money or not, okay? If you're on my shit list, guess what? You're on my shit list. $2 billion or $0 billion, okay? That's the way it needs to be. You guys need to get Eric Craddock. You guys need to get Chris Nanos out of office here. But we have two cases in polar opposites of this country handling the case the same way. And you know why? Because they're ignorant and they're incompetent. Both of them. Pima County Sheriff's incompetent. They can't even figure this case out. What are we dealing with here? What car do we have? What are we looking for? Isn't it Alex is in the chat. Alex, do you think it's funny since you're out there, since you're out in this area? Let me ask you this, Alex. Do you think it is funny that they were able to identify a vehicle and suspects and the victims yesterday, but somehow we still don't have the 911 call, the route, or the car for Nancy Guthrie's house? Oh, thank you, Carol. Oh, helping with legal fund. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. God bless you. I appreciate you. Thank you. God bless you. I appreciate you. But do you think it's funny that they have all this information in this case that has to do with one of their law enforcement partners, but it seems like they've completely, utterly tanked the case of Nancy Guthrie? And do you know what? Furthermore, if and when you do go and sue the county, I hope you sue Savannah and NBC. Because let me tell you something. In my opinion, they conspired with Pima County. Savannah Guthrie conspired with Pima County to have you arrested in violation of your constitutional and civil rights. So I hope whenever you do get a lawsuit, which I recommend you going over to Phoenix to find yourself an attorney, just in a recommendation. You don't have to do anything I say. You a grown-ass man. But I truly believe Savannah was the catalyst of why you guys were arrested. I truly believe that. And I think because she was at work, she would have had to have been at NBC at the time that she made that call. I think NBC is equally responsible financially for you, for the violation of but I think you might have a conspiracy case here to accompany your 1083 or your 1983 as well as your civil rights claim. 1983 is your civil rights. I meant constitutional rights. 1983 and constitutional. Just FYI, because I'm dealing with the same thing right now, and actually we're raising some funds for it. I've been dealing with this for a little bit. I still have 2 cases to beat. That just sucks. That's bullshit. That's just that irritates me, And I will tell you, I know that if you get an attorney, just please trust me on this. Please, please, please trust me I trust nobody in Pima County. Nobody. I don't trust their judiciary. I don't trust their AG. I trust nobody. If you still have 2 cases to beat, my suggestion, when you get an attorney, like if this does move past and you got to get a criminal attorney, get one from Phoenix. Please do not get one from Pima County. I made the biggest mistake the reason why right now I'm fighting with Sumner County, I'm having to raise this money for Sumner County, is my first attorney. My first attorney was so corrupted. He was part of the corruption in that county. He was working with literally the DA to try to shut me up. He kept telling me, and I kept saying, no, I'm not. This is my constitutional right. This is my constitutional right. This is my and he kept trying to negotiate with me to shut me up about the case, and I refused to. And then he joined in. He told me, pack a toothbrush, I'm going to jail. That's what that piece of shit told me as he tanked my case and made me have to appeal my case with $30,000. He wanted me to use him to appeal my case when he failed to show up for my court hearing that caused all these thousands of dollars for me. I fired him as soon as I walked out of that court hearing, and I went and hired another attorney. I've been with that attorney ever since, and guess what I did? I didn't hire another attorney in that county again. It cost me $45,000 because of an attorney mistake that I made hiring my first attorney to represent me from that community. Whenever you deal with a corrupted community like Pima County, you cannot use even their lawyers in that county. They're all corrupted. The whole system is corrupted. And my suggestion would be, that's what I did. I ended up going to Nashville and getting my criminal defense attorney, and he ended up getting that case. That case got, well, they were corrupted, so they needed to try to get me through the preliminary so I couldn't sue them for the 1083, the civil rights, right? So they fraudulently, without even the law on their side, they pushed my preliminary through so they could try to prevent me from suing them. But the problem is my case was so freaking weak when it went to the grand jury. The grand jury failed to indict. It was that weak. Like, a grand jury indicts a ham sandwich, period. It indicts a ham sandwich. My case was so bad that they failed to give me a true bill. It was that bad. So a judge and a prosecutor saturated in the law and the Constitution, professionally trained, couldn't make out what the jury could make out. It was a corrupted process. It was a corrupted process that has cost me almost $45,000. So that's why it was so important for you guys to raise so much money up front and get it, because like I'm trying to do now, it's a process. It's a lot harder once the case has passed for a year or 2 years trying to get those extra funds. I wish I would have just, collected as much as I could up front when it was active and ongoing, but I just felt some type of way. I didn't want to take more than I needed. I just, it was just one of those things. Even if this is the harder way of doing things, I feel like it's the better way of doing things, for me and for my audience. So it is what it is, but I wish you the best of luck on that front. But please, if there's any piece of advice that I can give you, is do not hire locally. Just please do not hire locally. Go to the biggest county outside of that county, so because they still travel to and from that county. I like an hour and a half out if possible, and you have to pay more for your attorney because they have to travel now to the courts. You have to pay slightly a little bit more, probably an extra $1,000 or $2,000 for an attorney that's a little further away. But I'm telling you, my attorney now is literally. I feel like he was a gift from God. I mean, I really do. If it wasn't for my attorney now, I don't know where I would be. He has just, when he got into this case, he looked at every video. He really wanted to understand what I was going through. And we spent months trying to get, I think he watched just about like 600 videos. I think he was that invested in trying to find out what was going on with me, because I don't think he believed me. He thought I was lying about what I was going through, and I think before he wanted to help me, he wanted to know what side of the aisle he was on and what he was going to have to deal with me. But when he realized I was being completely truthful, he bought in, and he has been he's been running the ball for me. I thought I wasn't even going to be able to sue the county, and he just calls me out of the blue and says, "I think we do have the case. I think I've found a way that we can go after them now." And I'm like, "Let's do it," you know. So I'm very, very thankful for the attorney I have today. I hope you guys get an attorney that fights for you guys, but what you guys been through is just wrong. It's just wrong. And I'm very, very disappointed in the Guthrie family, because you guys have been preparing flyers. You guys have been doing this stuff. I mean, it's got to be hot out there. I mean, I just went out and campaigned. I wasn't even out there in the woods or out in the desert searching. I was just campaigning and waving a sign, and I've got to tell you, I felt like I was about to die, okay? So I don't even know what you guys went through. Smoking, sipping, yelling, blasting music, throwing cactuses at car. You know how I be. Oh, yeah, I know. I heard you're a thug out there. And I see you over there in the corner with your little camera just sitting there. Right? It's like we hear all this stuff in the reports, but then when we go and watch you, we just see you over in the corner just sitting down next to cacti just watching. I'm a thug. I gotta tell you this story. Like, I have a friend. She's a felon. And she's a felon. And she's a felon for driving on a license suspension, right? She's a felon on a license suspension. So she's a felon, but she's not the kind of felon, like, she can't vote, she can't own a gun, but it's for driving. It's not even for violence or anything like this. She's a felon for, and I said, and so she calls me and she calls me in the middle of the night, and I know when she calls me in the middle of the night, I'm like, what? And this was years ago. And she's like, I don't think it was the middle. I think it was late. I think she was going to pick up some food for her grandchildren or something like that, and Pop wasn't there. So she ended up getting in the car and driving, and the cops knew she didn't have a license. So they went ahead and pulled her on over. And she calls me and she's like, I need you to come get the car. I'm like, okay. So I walked up there, I got the car and everything like that. And so she had to go to jail, right? Because this is her third strike. She's now officially a felon. And I said, so how was the conversations in jail? Were you like, hey, what are you in here for? I'm like, I stabbed my man in the eye with a fork. And it's like, what are you in here for? I bitch slapped my pimp. I said, and what do they say? They say, what are you in here for? What'd you have to say? She's like, oh yeah. She's like, I beat up that driving. I beat up that driving. I had to come in here for assault on the driving. Assault on the driving. Did you have assault on the steering wheel? I'm like, how did it feel? I say, yeah, I'm in here for driving. You got pimps and hoes, you got murderers and gankers, and you're in there for driving. You're in there for driving. And you're a felon. Such a hardened felon my friend is. Such a hardened felon my friend is. I asked her, is it worth it? She said, She got her driver's license now. She's not in jail with the pimps and the hoes anymore. And she definitely has a story. I asked her, is she hard? You know, did she get hard? Did she learn how to keister? Come on, girl, tell me. How was the keistering? What did you keister? Tell me. Tell me. All right, salt that driving. Salt on the steering wheel. Salt on the steering wheel. So anyways, that's a story. And, you know, obviously that was from many, many, many years ago. She's still wearing the felon, hat. She still can't vote. She still can't, but that she's got her driver's license back. I don't think she's going to jail. I don't think she's going to get hard anymore. I don't think she has to keister her keys anymore, okay? She's not like, what's his name? Why can't I remember the dude's name? Where is my dude? Austin Drummond. Yeah. She wasn't like Austin Drummond with C-Rock up in her crib. Her 4x4 crib. Alex should be sought after since he can violate the law 5 times all at once. Violate the law 5 times all at once, sitting in the corner on some cacti watching his camera. the hardened felon. Well, good morning, beautiful. I hope you are doing well. We're almost done with our our stuff. We were just kind of yapping about Sebastian Rogers. You don't want to hear it. Oh, Andrea, you do not want to hear. I was cussing. I was screaming. It was bad. The beginning part of the show, it was bad. You probably don't even stress. Don't even bother going back and watching it. It's no point. It's for my bad. It's for the bad part of the true crime here. It's for all those people. Because I said a lot of F-bombs. I did a lot of bad things on this channel today that I'm absolutely proud of. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm not going to be embarrassed. I'm absolutely proud of my behavior this morning. I don't care if anybody else is. I'm absolutely proud of myself. I'll give my own pat on the back. Thank you. I'll take that pat on the back that Elevated Truth wants, and I'll. Way to go, girl. Way to go, girl. All right. Yeah. You did a good job, girl. You did a good job. I know I did. Thank you so much. Thank you, Betty. Thank you. Oh, absolutely. You just deserve it. You deserve it so much. Pat myself on the back. There we go. You don't have to worry about me. I got it. I got it for all of you. I got it. I love it when you preach. I was angry. But I was angry for Seth. I was angry for Seth because Seth put himself out there yesterday on somebody's channel that doesn't really care for him. It seems like they calmed down a little bit. But Seth did that because he wanted to find out what that man knew. And instead of that man giving him one little just nugget of what he knew, he ended up giving Seth an interview. And Seth is like, fine, I'll interview if it's about Sebastian, anything for my son, I'll do. Unlike some other people, right? People that he has been hiding and lying about for 2.5 years. So I can tell you personally, I'm angry. I can tell you personally that what Seth has been through was wrong. It just truly was wrong. And I can tell you I've never flip-flopped on this case, ever. Not once. You know why? Because I did my job the first time. I investigated this case properly the first time. That's why. I don't have to flip-flops. And one thing that these hate channels will never, ever understand is no matter what, I am always on the right side of things. I'm not the one having to change my position. I'm not the one having to record people and send it to law enforcement. I have never, ever, ever once had to do that to Seth. Never once have I even thought, oh, let me record this conversation. Who does that? You know who does that? Criminal pieces of shit. That's who does that. I have never once worked with a family and said, let me record this. You know why? Because I refuse to work with anybody that I think remotely may have hurt somebody. I have integrity, I have character, and I've got class. And I would never, ever, ever work with anybody that I could perceive as a monster. Not to get anywhere, not to get an edge on a case, nothing. I ain't rubbing elbows with you if you can hurt a fucking kid, okay? I'm not doing it. And for people to sit there and do that, and then to come up here and think they're going to white knight, boo-boo, you got something wrong with you. You got something seriously wrong with you. Again, over my dead body, and I better be dead. Anyways, guys, rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Until next time, please be safe, but more importantly, kind to those that deserve it. Rock it out with your coffee beans out, and we will see you on the flip side.